Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna and I am a knitter and spinner and sewist and mother living in Seattle, Washington. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about the projects that I worked on in June. That's what we talk about on my channel, is making things, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So I feel like June, like looking at everything that I have in front of me, it didn't feel like a lot, but it really was quite a lot of stuff. For starters, I'm filming in the evening today, and since I live in Washington, it is quite late into the evening, but it's past 8 o'clock, so hopefully we can do this in a timely manner and it doesn't get too dark. That's the first housekeeping thing. Probably the only housekeeping thing, really. So yes, I feel like June was a very sewing heavy month for me. Even after Me Made May, I did a lot of sewing in May. I did a lot of sewing in June as well. I'm just really enjoying sewing right now. It's like what's bringing me a lot of joy. It's a little faster than knitting. And I think part of it is probably because I've been knitting for so long and for so many years. It's been over 5 years now since I knit my first sweater, and I've been knitting much longer than that. But I have so many knitted garments now that I think I'm starting to expand my Me Made wardrobe into sewn garments, things like pants and blouses and dresses and shorts that are beyond my sewing, or that are like really not best suited to knitting, but I really enjoy making them as well. So I feel like, and especially over the last couple of weeks, I've really noticed, even past Me Made May, that I've been wearing a lot of like fully handmade outfits, and it brings me a lot of joy, and I want to keep doing it because I really enjoy it. So I've done a lot of sewing. I will start with the knitting, and I have some new cast-ons, which I'm excited to show you, and then we'll talk about sewing. And I've also done some spinning, and I'm going to be doing a lot more spinning this month because July is for spinning in the crafty world, and we'll talk about more about that in a minute. We'll start off with knitting, the usual. I have 2 finished projects this month. Both of them I really like. The first one is this little pair of socks. Longtime viewers will recognize this yarn. I've been knitting on socks with this yarn for like the entirety of the year. I cast on yarn. So this yarn is from Little Fiber Company, who is she's my favorite hand dyer. She does exquisite work. I discovered her at Flock last year, and I'm so excited to see her again at Flock this year. But she did a sale last December, and she was doing a special sale on some of her one-of-a-kind colorways from before her rebrand. She used to be known as the Yarn Addict. So this sock yarn is from her Yarn Addict era. So it's now she only dyes on non-superwash wools, but this is a superwash merino nylon, pretty standard sock yarn that she was dyeing on before and during her Yarn Addict era. And I loved the color. It's really beautiful. It really reminds me of chocolate covered strawberries, which is like the rich, like brownie reds, and then the reds and the whites. I think it's beautiful. And it was a 50 gram skein. It was super cheap because it was on sale. And I cast on some socks with it as my Christmas Eve cast on, but because the colorway is so variegated, I was knitting the Grow socks by Fiber Tales, and you couldn't really see the cabling. So I ripped them out and I started just with a vanilla sock. And I also used a Fiber Tales pattern for this. I used the Humblebee socks as like the base pattern. I just didn't do any of the lace on the cuffs. But other than that, the stitch count and the instructions are the same. The heel turn and everything. It has a Fleegle heel, which I really, really like knitting. I'm not sure if it's the best fitting heel on me, but I do like the knitting process of a Fleegle heel, which does some increases and then you do decreases to shape the heel turn. And then I just used up the rest of the yarn that I had. So these are kind of more of like a crew sock length, maybe like an inch shorter than I would have liked, but I used up like maybe everything but like the last 5 meters of the yarn. So I'm really happy that I was able to use it up, and these are really cute socks. They're kind of nice summer socks, I guess, if you need summer wool socks, because they work really well in sandals or like Birkenstock clogs or whatever. So I've worn them a couple times. They're a little bit pilly, but they're really cute. I knit these 2 at a time. They're, I think, 60 stitches on 2.5 millimeter needles. I didn't go down for the ribbing, which I kind of am annoyed about because it's already looking a little bit stretched out, but I may just thread an elastic through I did an Italian bind off at the top, so I may just thread an elastic through those to kind of keep it from sliding or from stretching more. It's just that they kind of slip down my foot a little bit, but that's okay. I still really like them. They're super cute, and that is my second pair of socks of the year. I want to do 4 pairs of socks this year, so I'm glad to be halfway there on my sock goal. So those are really cute. I want to do some like fun lacy socks, but I also want to knit with the stock yarn that's in my stash, and pretty much all of the sock yarn I have is really variegated, And I feel like I can only knit plain socks with variegated yarn, either just like plain stockinette or ribbed. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do for my next pair of socks yet, because I haven't cast them on. But before October, I want to finish, July, August, September. Yeah, before October, I want to do another pair of socks. I'm trying to do one every quarter of the year. So that's my first finished object. They're really cute and they're really fun, and I really enjoyed making them. Socks are fun. They really are. I mean, they're not like an everyday constant thing for me, but they are fun and they're really cute to have, and I feel like they add a fun touch to an outfit. So that's my second pair of socks. And then my other finished object is like, I really, really love how this turned out. This is my Air T long sleeve version by Ozetta. It turned out so good. I'm really, 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 really happy with this. I think the last time I talked to you, I had decided that I was going to rip out the sleeve, which I'm so glad I did, because I really, really love how this is fitting now. So this pattern is for a short sleeve t-shirt, and I decided to make it into a long sleeve sweater. I did it with one strand of Drops 100% cotton fingering weight yarn. It's the Loves You 7, which I think is now discontinued, but it's just 100% fingering weight cotton. And then I held 3 very fine strands of silk with it as well to get a really beautiful fabric that has a lot of drape, and it's kind of heavy, but it's really beautiful, and it has this like a subtle like textural marl, because the silk is kind of shiny and the cotton is more matte. So I love the fabric. I don't love the rowing out that you may or may not be able to see here. There is rowing out in the portions that I knit flat. I don't think it's super, super noticeable. If you're not a knitter, you probably wouldn't notice. I can sometimes see it, and frankly, I've just decided that it's not going to bother me. But yes, so because this is a short sleeve t-shirt, I think in the instructions, you just knit to a length and then bind off. But I wanted to taper the sleeves on mine, and I ended up, the winning sleeve taper ratio for me ended up being 1 decrease every 8 rounds, which was about an inch, maybe a little bit less, maybe like 7/8 of an inch. And I did 20 rounds of decreases. So I have whatever 20 times 8 is. 8 times 2 is 16. So 160 rounds in my sleeve. I did 20 decreases, and then I just did the I-cord bind off on the sleeve. And I will put a picture of me wearing it. I've worn it a couple times already. And it hits, I was a little bit worried when I first finished it that the sleeves were quite long. They hit like beyond, I really wanted them to hit like right at this wrist knuckle bone, right here. And when I first finished, it was a little bit longer than that, and I was a little worried, but I was thinking that like as I wore it, they would shrink up. And actually when I washed this and blocked it, the sleeves shrunk up. So I don't know why that is. Usually cotton has a tendency to stretch out, but for these, it kind of shrunk back up, and now the sleeves are a perfect bracelet length. For a woolly oversized sweater, I do not like a bracelet length sleeve. I like something that's more like on my hands. But for this kind of more casual summer look, it hits at a really nice place. And I say casual, but this actually is kind of like I don't know, it has a very beachy vibe. It's a little bit polished. I wear it to work on a cooler summer day, and I think it looks really nice. I think the I-cords look nice. The only thing is that the bottom I-cord does have a tendency to kind of flip up on itself. I don't know if I just didn't. So when I was doing the I-cord bind off, I kept all my regular stitches on the 3.5 millimeter needle, and then did the actual binding off with the 3 millimeter needle, but I was still passing the stitches back onto 3.5. So I don't know if that kind of like negated me going down a size, or if it's just they're not rolling on the sleeves, but they are rolling on the body. I don't know if it's just inevitable that I'm going to get a little bit of flippage on the bottom I-cord. I tried to iron it out, and that didn't really work, so I've just accepted it. The only thing is that there's like a lot of little strands of the silk threads kind of like dangling that I either need to trim or weave in. But other than that, this is beautiful. I'm so happy with it. I've worn it quite a few times already. It's it's a really nice off-white color. It's like an oatmeal-y color. And it's so simple, but it's so good. I love it. It's sad because simple knits are not always the most fun thing to work on, but they are so practical to have and to wear. So anytime the weather is below 70 degrees this summer, I will be wearing this sweater. I really, really like it. In my real life knitting bestie, Meg, knitting in one of my best friends in general, her name is Meg, and she also loves cotton sweaters, and she just finished a really, really cute yellow Sadie sweater in cotton. I think actually she used Drops Bell, so it's like a cotton linen viscose. It's really, really cute. And I think she wants to make a Lakes pullover in cotton as well. There's just something so nice about a cotton sweater. It's soft. There's like no itch factor whatsoever. It's breathable. It's easy to care for. I just wish it didn't hurt my hands so much. I felt like when I was knitting this, it was just that like my wrists wouldn't, it was just that my wrists were like fatigued. It wasn't like any specific point. There wasn't like a pain point. It was just like soreness. So that was annoying. I also like knit the sleeves pretty quickly because I was watching The Pit, which is a show on HBO, I think. It's very good. I watched the whole 15 episode show. It's 15 hours long. I watched it in like 4 days. It was really good. I would highly recommend it if you are interested. It's a medical drama it takes place over one shift in the emergency room. It's really, really good. I loved it. But I like tore through the sleeves when I was watching that, and it really helped me finish this up because this had been, I think I cast this on in April or May, so it's been sitting for a while. I've been working on it, but I just had a setback because I had to rip out the whole sleeve and do it again. So I'm happy to have it done, and I love wearing it, and it's going to be great. I will probably even continue wearing it into the winter, so it's nice to have. I have a couple like plain white cotton sweaters, but this is the first off-white cotton sweater that I have, and the first cotton sweater that I've knit for myself in quite a few years. So yes, that is my second and final finished object for the month. I have 2 works in progress. The first one is another cotton garment, actually. This is the Concha top, which I don't remember the designer's name. Let me find that really quick for you. It's a beautiful sleeveless top with some, it's like pretty standard. It's like got a slip stitch texture on the body and then some crochet detailing around the neck and the sleeves, which I'm excited to do. Okay. The designer is Caledonia Dreamin'. I think she's a French designer. The pattern is in English and in French, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's knit bottom up, which is not my preferred construction. However, I think it's fine. So this is how I have so far. I'm about 5 inches into the body, 5.5 maybe. So I'm a little bit less than halfway through the body before I need to divide for the straps. And it's looking good so far. It's like stockinette with some slip stitches to make this interesting texture. And then it has a really pretty, yeah, like I said, crochet detailing around the neck. And the yarn that I'm using is a very mysterious cotton cone. It's a cone of cotton yarn that I bought at Seattle Recreative, which is a great creative reuse craft thrift store here in Seattle. They have 2 locations, one in Greenwood Finney Ridge, which is also one of my favorite Seattle neighborhoods. And they also have a location in Georgetown, which is south of downtown in South Seattle. But I'm really liking the yarn so far. It came on the cone maybe stranded 3 times, and I'm holding it triple from how it came on the cone. Yeah, I think it was 3 strands. So I'm holding 9 strands of this really lightweight cotton together. And it's not hurting my hands. So I think actually maybe for my sweater, it was because it was cotton and fingering weight that it was giving me wrist fatigue. I'm also not knitting on this as much as I was knitting on the other one. And it's a much larger gauge. This is a 20 stitch gauge on 4mm needles. So it's not giving me the same kind of hand fatigue that I was getting knitting my Air T sweater. That was 25 or 26 stitches on 3.5mm needles. So a lot of tighter of a gauge, smaller needles, more stitches than this, which I'm currently working on, not that much because I've been doing a lot of sewing, but I'm working on it on my commute, and I'm getting like 1/2 inch to 1 inch a day. And I think I have to go to like maybe 12 or 14 inches on the body. So I'm making good progress. I want to have this done for Flock. That's my goal, is to have this project finished to wear at Flock in the beginning of August. And I think it's doable. It's pretty fast going if I actually just sit and work on it. I just have so many other things that are pulling my attention away. So that's my Concha top. And then the other thing is, I stopped in the middle of a row because I was working on this on the bus also. Oh no. Hold on. This could be bad. Okay. Sorry that I'm in the middle of a row, but this is the Honey Pillow by Petite Knit. I've got like 3 inches on it maybe so far. Anyway, this is the Honey Pillow by Petite Knit. It's a very basic honeycomb brioche pillow cushion cover. And you do the front knitted and then the back is sewn on. And I was debating like it's very simple. The pattern is very simple. I was like, this seems kind of silly to pay for a pattern for this. But then I got lazy and I was like, I'd rather just pay $5 for the pattern than try and figure it out on my own. So yeah, and I'm knitting this with my hand spun yarn. This is hand spun, one of my first big hand spun projects. It's spun with fiber from Oner Och Air, which is the owner or the brand that does Nutiden yarn. It's kind of this like greeny beigey brown. I'm not sure. It reads differently in different lights. It's got like yellows and greens and beiges in it. It's really pretty. I like it, but I had kind of like a weird quantity. I think I had ended up with like 350 meters, and I didn't really want to use it for a child's garment because I thought maybe it would be a little bit too scratchy, and I didn't want to use it for an accessory. So I thought if I used it for a cushion cover, I can look at it every day and admire it. It was my first big hand spun project, so I think it's cute. I like the texture. I don't really have a deadline for this, but I'll just keep working on it as and when. It's really easy to work on. It's very small. Obviously, like this is knit on 3mm needles to get gauge for me. And I just have the one ball of yarn attached to it right now. So it's good. It's easy and very portable. And I just have to keep knitting this texture for like enough to cover. I think it's going to end up being like this size of pillow. Sorry if I hit the microphone there. So we got a ways to go. Got a long ways to go, but I'm happy to be using this hand spun that's been sitting for a while. I spun this up over a year ago now, so I'm happy to be knitting with it and to make a pretty piece for my home. I'm not sure how it'll look with my gray couch, but I would also like to reupholster this couch at some point. So anyway, those are my knitting projects. They're both kind of at weird stages, but I'm enjoying them both, and they're not like super inspiring, but they're good, and I'm excited to have the top, and I'm excited to have them. They're just like they're both kind of at a simple place where I'm like either knitting back and forth in the texture or just knitting around and around and around. So I'm excited to do the crochet on the top, actually. I think that will be interesting. I haven't done a lot of crochet lace. I'm a very, very novice crocheter. I can chain, and I've done single crochets and double crochets, but that's like kind of the extent of it. So hopefully it doesn't cause me too much grief to do the crochet on the edging, but I think it'll be really cute. So yes, those are my big knitting projects right now. I haven't really knit much on my Esther jacket. I think I'm just going to let that sit for another little while longer. I think I would like to have it done ready to wear in September when the weather starts to cool down. So I'm not in a huge rush to finish that, but if you're new here, I'm knitting the Esther jacket by Petite Knit in some yarn that I spun last year and this year in some hand spun yarn. But I had a setback in May and I haven't really touched it since. So that's the status on that project. Okay, let's do sewing next because I do have quite the pile of projects. We'll start with the first one, which is kind of a fun one. This was my first ever sewing test. I've never done a test sew before, but I've wanted to for a while. I've tried to sign up for a few and haven't gotten chosen, but I finally got chosen for one, and this was a really fun one. And it's the Matchy Sewing Club hopscotch jumper, which has not yet been released, but it is coming very soon. And I did the kids version and the adults version. So that was super fun as well. I have one for me and one for my sweet little daughter, Caroline. We have yet to wear them out together, but I want to, and maybe we'll do that this weekend because we're going to go to a festival in our neighborhood, and that would be really fun. So this is the kids version. For Caroline's, all of this fabric is from Stash. This is leftover fabric from a couple pairs of pants that I made. So the white is the fabric that I use for my Persephone pants that I wear all the time. It's just a white cotton twill, like a denim, lightweight denim. And then also sorry, I'm touching the white part on the back. My Helene jeans, my white straight leg jeans are from this fabric. And then the black is also a denim twill. And I made a pair of Persephone pants in this in 2023, and they fit great at the time, but they are too big for me now. So my bodies will change again at some point and I'll fit into them again. So I'm just hanging on to them because they're handmade and cute, but I had extra fabric left over. So I signed up for this test, like not really sure what fabric I was going to use. And then I remembered that I had these black and white remnants, and I thought it would be really cute to do like a Cruella de Vil black and white contrasting little dress. And it turned out so darling. I tried to do like contrast top stitching as well. So on the white, the top stitching is in black. And then on the black, the top stitching is in white. I think it's really cute. The only thing is that, and this is some comments that I left in the testing form, is that I think the straps are a little too long, and just for where it fits on me and for my daughter especially. Like, she's only 16 months. She turned 17 months in July. So she's like a little under a year and a half. And the pattern, the kids' sizes for this pattern aren't like 2T, like age-based sizes. They're like measurement-based sizes, and she fit all the measurement-based sizes except for the height. So I think this is made for kids that are a little bit taller than her, which is why the straps on her are really too long. The top of the dress hits like mid chest on her. So I either need to add some more buttonholes or come up with, or like put some kind of buckle in here to kind of like make the straps more adjustable. I don't really want to put a ton more buttonholes because if you have it up really high, like if it's buttoned, if I did another buttonhole, then you basically, like the strap just has 3 random buttonholes hanging down. And I could do it where you like fold the buttonholes under and do it that way, but I'm not sure about that. So I think I might try and see if there's some kind of buckle solution I could do, or maybe I'll just tie a knot in the straps. That's what I've done for myself before, is where you like kind of tie knots in the back of the straps just to shorten them up again. But there's got to be some kind of like buckle system I could do or something just to make them a little bit shorter. I don't want to cut them and shorten them, because if I keep them like this, hopefully she can wear this for a really long time, because it is made for like more of a 2-year-old to 3-year-old age. The length is still really good on her. It hits like at her knees right now. So, and this is kind of meant to be like a little bit shorter. So I could save it for next summer, or I can try and make some modifications to it just to make it a little bit more wearable for her right now. But it is really, really cute. And then for the buttons, I chose these light pink plastic button that I had in my stash. I thought they were cute. I didn't have like contrasting black and white buttons, so I just ended up going for pink. And they're very subtle, but they're cute. So that's her version. And then for mine, I did a little bit more subtle. This is like a army green kind of color, and it turned out really cute. I have yet to wear it. It's a little bit stiff. I think I need to wash it because this is also a twill, like a green. I think it's got polyester in it just from the way it behaved when I was ironing. I got this from Goodwill bins as a piece of like a remnant piece of fabric. So it's really cute. It turned out really cute, and I think I will like to wear it. I could sometimes struggle to style anything overalls, but I think they look really cute with tanks underneath them. So since it's summer, that would be nice. I can wear a little tank under it, and it's really cute. I like the pockets. I did extend the length on this. I think I ended up extending the length by like 3 inches on the body, but I also moved my buttonholes up. So the length may kind of come out in the wash. The way that the pattern was written, the chest like was kind of low, and I think I wanted to sit a little bit higher. So I just made some modifications to the buttonhole placement and the length to suit my preferences a little bit better. And I will put a picture of me wearing it so you can see kind of where it fits and everything. But I do really like the A-line shape. I think the shape is really nice. It's super, super quick and easy to sew. And there are lots of really fun like patchwork or like scrap using possibilities for these. So they turned out really cute, and I'm excited for us to wear them together. I think it'll be really fun. So those are my first couple of sews earlier in the month. I think I had already cut this out when we spoke last. I made another version of the Celine blouse by Silver Saga Patterns. This one is I want to say View E. It has no button placket, but no neck ruffle. And it's in this really light, this white fabric with these yellow Swiss dots on it that I got from my grandma. I found it in her garage and snatched it. So it's really cute. I do like it. I have yet to wear it because I'm not sure how I feel with this style of blouse with my short hair. I don't know. Something about the sleeve and the short hair, like it's a lot of, and especially because I have curly short hair, it's like a lot happening here. So I haven't worn this yet, but I do like it. And it's maybe just that I don't know. It feels like a lot to wear to work. I don't know. I haven't worn it yet. I think it would be like a really cute date night top. Not that I go out on a lot of date nights, but it would be a cute date night top. I also made a modification. So this is the second version of the Celine top that I've made. And with the first version, I just found it was really, really low. So what I ended up doing was raising the neckline by 2 full inches. And I also brought the shoulder in by probably, I think, 1 inch on either side. So the neckline is just more, it's higher and a little bit more narrow. And I like the fit of that a lot. I will put a picture of me wearing it so you can see what I'm talking about. And then I did a little bit more loose elastic on the sleeves as well, just so it wouldn't, because with my first version, I found that it was like the sleeves would ride up and then it would make the shoulder even poofier. Whereas that doesn't seem to happen as much with this. There's still a lot of volume on the shoulder, obviously, but it is a little bit less exaggerated and a little bit more relaxed. It's very cute. It is very, very cute. I need to wear it out. I think it would look great with just like a dark pair of jeans. So yeah, it turned out really cute. I don't know, maybe if I don't wear it, I'll see if one of my sisters wants it, but it's very sweet. And I think the second time sewing this was a little bit easier, and not doing the neckline ruffle honestly did make it quite a lot easier. I would like to make a tank top version of this. Jessica from Silver Saga is releasing a sleeveless version, which actually, it like started as a sleeveless version, but it's basically turned into a new pattern. But there have been some people who have hacked this version of the pattern to be sleeveless. So I think I'm going to try that. I was originally planning to do that with this fabric actually, but then I had enough fabric to add sleeves, so I figured I would just do it. But yeah, I want to make like a tank top version of this. I think I would do no neck ruffle, but keep the bottom ruffle again. It'd be really sweet. So that's really cute. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I just haven't found the right occasion to wear it yet, but it's really cute, and I like that it's made with pretty fabric from my grandma. So it's special. Okay, three more projects still. I have this little set that I made. I thrifted this dress a month or so ago, and it was kind of large and kind of shapeless, but I felt like it had a lot of potential. I really liked the shape of the top, and I liked the little buttons on the shoulder. This kind of shape of top is very trendy. I like boat neck tank. Kind of reminds me of the shape of my favorite things knitwear. Is it camisole number 10? I knit one last year and I really like that top. I do wear it quite a lot actually. So I decided to take it from a dress just because I didn't feel like I was going to wear it as a dress. I'm not really a dress person. I don't wear a lot of dresses, but I do love a good pair of shorts. So I made it into this little matching top and short set, and I will put a picture of me wearing it. It's really cute. It turned out really nice. I ended up taking in the sides. I think I took them in by like 1.5 inches on each side, and so I had to bring the armholes up. I didn't cut off the excess fabric. I don't know why. I just, like, in case I want to ever take it out, like if I ever grow and need to let it out a little bit more, the fabric is still there, and I can undo my modifications. So I did the same on what is this? The sleeve binding as well. There's binding on the armholes, and I just like unpicked it and redid it, kind of shortened it and then re-sewed it. And that was it. That was the only change I made to the top. I thought maybe I might need to bring in the neckline, but then I frankly just got lazy and didn't feel like it. So I didn't end up doing anything else to the top. The pocket was already there. And I just did kind of like a normal double folded hem on the bottom. It's a thin hem. And then the shorts, I used my own, what do I call it? Frankenstein shorts pattern. It was a shorts pattern that I bought on Etsy, and then I ended up changing the sizing around, and I've changed quite a few things about it to the point where it's like now just my go-to shorts pattern. It has slash pockets. I think I would like to try to do inseam pockets next time I make a pair of shorts. But it has slash pockets on the side and an added on waistband, which I like better than a grown on waistband. But yeah, it's just a really cute pair of shorts. I like a 5-inch inseam in my shorts. It's like I find that's a good length for me for like modesty, but also cuteness. So yeah, it turned out really cute. Upcycled this little set, and it feels very like Euro summer. But I did wear it to a farm last week, and it also kind of worked there too. So, that was cute. It was a good upcycle. I haven't done a good upcycle in a while, so that was fun, and I feel like it worked out well. Next thing I did was another little project for my daughter Caroline. This is a little sweatshirt that I made her from it's called the Sammy sweatshirt, and it is a pattern from Style Arc. I got this fabric. It's a really, really nice, super, super soft bamboo, is it modal sweatshirt fleece that I got in my mystery bag from Lyrical Fabrics that I bought in May. I really like the color. This is I'm really drawn to this kind of like mauvey rosy color. And I had less than a yard of the fabric. So when I was thinking about what to use with it, I decided I could make a sweatshirt for my daughter. And I found the Sammy sweatshirt pattern from Style Arc, and then I just waited for them to have a sale. They have pattern sales pretty frequently. I would say like once a month they put their patterns on some kind of sale. So I think I got the pattern for like $5. And I made the second size, which is kind of, I think it's like a 2 to 3 year size, just so that she could wear it for a little bit longer. And it was a super, super quick and easy sew. I think I cut and sewed it in like an hour or two. More than an hour, but less than 2. And I did it all on my serger. So I didn't have like super matching serger thread, but when I got actually I have two sergers. One of them doesn't work and one of them does. When I bought the one that doesn't work, it came with serger cones on it. I got it secondhand. But they were all different colors. So there's like a yellow serger cone, a pink serger cone, a green, and a blue. And I ended up just doing the multicolored serger thread because I thought it would be fun and cute for a kid's fabric or a kid's piece. And you can't honestly really tell that it's multicolored. You can see this blue on the one side and then the pink on the other. You can't really see the yellow serger cone that's in here. I don't know which looper it was on, but it's not super obvious. But yeah, so it turned out really cute. And it was super easy. You just use the same fabric for the cuffs and the neckline and the bottom and everything. And it was super fast and easy. And it's such a beautiful fabric. I don't think they carry this. I don't know if Lyrical carries this anymore, but it's a really beautiful, like super stretchy, flowy, drapey fabric. So that's done. Caroline's only worn it. She wore it this morning for like, I don't know, half an hour before she went to school because I didn't want to send her to daycare in this. And she already got stuff all over it. So we'll see how it washes. But it's like, there's so much drape and it's really, really soft. So hopefully she likes it and wears it and loves it. And the rest of the fabric I gave to my friend Meg, and she's going to make a sweatshirt for her niece. So it's really cute. This is like, I would make matching pants, but I feel like this is too soft for pants. Like a kid would just tear them right up. So sweatshirt is good. Okay. And then my last sewing project, I told you I did a lot of sewing. My last sewing project is another pair of pants for me. These are, I love them. They're so cute. These are the bob pants from Style Arc. They're a very balloony pair of, or like barreled pair of cotton pants. And this is I think this is 100% cotton. It's a very lightweight cotton fabric. I mentioned earlier that I wore this checked outfit to a farm. I had a family reunion this last weekend in Pennsylvania, and we went to this valley where a lot of my mom's cousins and extended family live, and they live in a very rural part of Pennsylvania. And there's this little country store that we always used to go to when I was growing up, and so we stopped in, and they had a little fabric section in there, and so I bought 2 yards of this really cute red gingham, and it was 2 yards was $13.50. Which is crazy cheap. And I used almost all of the fabric for these pants, but I so wish I had bought more because it's so comfortable. It's really lightweight cotton. And it's like kind of lightly brushed. Maybe not. I don't know. It's a yarn dyed cotton. It's probably meant for quilting, but it's got like a lot of nice movement to it. I love the color. It's not a super bright red. It's more of like a deeper cherry. So yeah, I'm really happy with how these turned out. They're so comfortable. They're kind of, they look maybe a little bit silly because of the barrel shape, but I like them. There's this pair of pants from this brand called Le Bon Shop that looks very similar to this. I was torn between doing the bob pants or Pomona pants, and I'm glad I went with these because I just think they're fun. And these pants are really special because the fabric is special and the place is special, and they will just always be happy memory pants for me. So I'm really happy with these. I love them. They're so cute and comfy and fun. And they were also super, super quick and easy to sew because I already had the pattern cut out. To cut and sew the pants took me like an hour and a half probably. So it was a really fun and quick little project and I have these adorable pants that I'm going to be wearing constantly. And I so wish I knew the brand of the fabric. It was a wholesale brand. There was a brand on the bolt, but I thought to myself, I should take a picture of this, and I didn't. And I wish I had because I really, really like this fabric, and I would love to get more of it. But the shop only has a phone number, so I may call them and ask what brand it is, but I really like it. Honestly, I would just buy the rest of the bolt of this fabric if I could, because it would be really, really good pajama fabric. It's so comfortable. I wore these pants to work the other day with my sweater. I'll put the outfit that I was wearing. And it might have bordered a little bit too casual for work, but I work in a pretty casual place, so no one's going to say anything about it. And it turned out great. It was very comfy. So yes, those are my sewing projects. There are many. And I don't see myself slowing down anytime soon. I'm really liking sewing, and both my sisters have put in requests for pants as well. So I'm going to be doing more sewing this month, and it will be very fun. Okay, the last thing I have to talk about before we wrap up is some spinning. So if you're not a spinner, you can drop, but if you are a spinner, you know that this month is the Tour de Fleece, which is when spinners all over the world spin along with the Tour de France, and people like make goals and do different challenges. For me, it's just like a good opportunity for me to remember to spin every day, to focus on my spinning. I did a lot of spinning in the early months of the year when I was working on spinning my sweater quantity, and then I haven't spun a whole lot since. But I'm excited to be back at my wheel. I've already been doing a lot of spinning, and I'm having a great time doing it. So to warm myself up for the tour, I started with a couple just little sample spins. I'm finishing out a breed sampler that I bought last year from World of Wool, which is a British wool supply company. They have exceptional products. And I made my own little breed sampler. So I did this little 25 grammer. This is Teeswater, I want to say. And I did a pretty loose 2-ply. This is like it's got a lot of fuzz on it, and I think it's a longer staple. I don't know. It has pretty drape, and it's kind of glossy. I want to say it's probably more of a long wool. I don't know still a ton about all of my wools, but I did this little Teeswater skein, which turned out really cute. And then I did this Icelandic skein, which this was my first time spinning Icelandic. I've spun Icelandic cross before, but I did that on my drop spindle, and it was quite a long time ago. So this is 100% Icelandic, and I think I just maybe put a bit too much twist in it, but it's a really dark Icelandic. So I ended up, after I spun the singles, I plied it really loosely. Oh, it's having a hard time focusing. There we go. I plied it really loosely, and it's not soft. And I like Icelandic, I do, but this is not soft. I don't know, and it's not got a lot of bounce to it either, because it's a primitive and the wool is so long. I don't know what I'm going to use this for. Honestly, this will probably be hard wearing enough to use in like the heel of a sock or something, but there's my little Icelandic mini skein. That turned out very cute. I'm getting like between 40 and 50 meters or 40 and 50 yards on each of these little samples. And I have probably like 10 or 12 different samples now, and I need to figure out what kind of project I'm going to use them for, because I have a bunch of them and I want to use them. Yeah, so maybe another cushion cover project or some kind of color work, something or other. There's my little Icelandic skein, and then I also had a couple of the Melly Knit snacks that I bought back at Fibers West in, is that March? So I knit this second one. This is Cormo with 10% sari silk. And I spun it really fine. I wanted to get it like as fine as possible. And I want to say it probably is like fingering in some places and sport in others. It really plumped up a lot, and I feel like I like the ply on this a lot. I think it turned out really cute. So yeah, I think it's a white Cormo with just the blue sari silk, kind of gives it that tinge. And it's really cute. It's super springy. So compared to the Icelandic, there's like so much stretch in this and memory, and it's so soft. It's beautiful to spin. I've been following Melly on Instagram for a while now, and I really like her. She's very fun, and she's super kind. She answered a lot of questions for me when I was washing my first fleeces. And then I met her at Fibers West. She was so nice. So I'm really happy to be working with her product for the first time and really enjoying it. So there's my little sari silk little guy skein. And I think I want to use this as a contrast color in some socks. Not like heels, toes, and cuffs, but like color work. So maybe like the quilty, what is it, heirloom quilt socks, or the quilty cabin socks, the ones that Marlene has knit a couple times. I think it's really cute. So that would be fun. And then I currently have on my wheel some fiber that I bought at Fiber Fusion Northwest, which happened at the beginning of June. I don't think I talked to you about it last time, but if I did, here's a quick reminder. I went to Fiber Fusion Northwest the very beginning of June, and I bought a couple things of fiber. So this one that I'm spinning right now is this. This is from the Woolly Wildflower, which is a Washington-based indie dyer, and this is her Mad Hatter colorway on 100% Targhee wool. It's got all of these blues and greens in it, this is kind of like out there for me color-wise. This is not super in my normal wheelhouse, but I think it'll be really fun to spin. I've spun up the first half of the fiber, and I just spun it end to end basically. But there's a lot of these really dark blues and purples in the middle of this braid. So I was thinking I would just spin them both end to end and then kind of do like a pretty subtle fade, but now I think I want to, I don't want it to be all super dark in the middle and just greens on the end. So I think, and I'm going to actually just go for it right now, is I'm going to split this in half and spin it like end to end twice so that the color changes on the second ply are a little bit faster. And hopefully that will make the color changes in the final yarn really fun and interesting. So that's my plan for this. And I've already spun the first half of it in like since last night. So it's going super quick. And then I also have this braid, which I think turned out really beautiful. This is more of the like colors that I'm normally drawn to. This is from Rusty Spur Ranch and Creations. And this is the color Bitter Root, and it is Cormo fiber. So I think it's really pretty. I love these like pinks and oranges, and I'm not sure how I'm going to spin this yet. I feel like I can never decide until I actually open up the braid and see how the colors kind of lay, but this is super, super gorgeous. Yeah, I love the colors. And my hope is that one of these two colors, whichever one, I don't know, I like more, I will use in some kind of color work project as the contrast color with a sweater quantity that I have a sweater quantity of DK weight. It's called Frost Wool. It's from Scotland that my mother-in-law brought me home from a trip a couple of years ago. That's really beautiful. It's got like, it's mostly white, but it has like brown interspersed in it. I will put a picture of it here so you can see what I'm talking about. So I could either knit color work with that or with hand spun sweater quantity. I have some off-white like cream carded fiber that would be good with the sweater quantity as well. So we'll see. I'm trying to decide what pattern I would do and how it would look, but that's my hope, is to do like a hand spun contrast on like a lighter or a more neutral background in a color work sweater. So yes, this is so pretty. I'm really excited to spin it. I'm honestly kind of glad I started with the blue one because they're so wildly different, and this one is like more warm and cozy. This one's more like summer pool, aquamarine pond. I don't know. But I'm glad I started with this one because I'm really excited to do this one as well. And after having spun this Cormo, I'm really excited to spin more Cormo. So yes, that is everything for me today. It's getting dark, so it's good that we wrap up. And yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a nice time. I hope you're enjoying your summer. Hope it's not too hot where you are, and that you're enjoying some summertime crafting, whether that's actual summer knits or summer sewing projects, or if it's getting ahead on your fall and winter projects. So I hope you're doing well. Let me know what you're working on. I'm always looking for new fun and interesting patterns to check out. If you have any patterns for socks that you really like with very heavily variegated yarn, let me know, because I'm trying to find something that I feel like is a good match for some of the yarns that I have in stash. And what sewing projects do you have your eyes on? I don't know. I would just love to hear what people are working on, or what you're spinning for the tour, whatever it may be. So let me know how you're doing in the comments. Thank you again so much for watching. It's wonderful to have you here, and I appreciate your support so much, and I will see you again very soon.